What a start to our morning here in London at the FACEIT CIS Minor. Ladies and gentlemen, Prosto doing the work that was needed to overcome who had become one of our favourites to ascend through this minor spirit. Will we see a similar turn of events in the next matchup? HellRaisers, who have only had to play one map so far at this tournament to get in the position they are currently in, and who are arguably the top team here, are about to go up against Avangar, a team who Vendetta and Maniac have already had to play 6 maps. Great to have you back, by the way.
It's great to be here. Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, everybody at home, do not forget to use the hashtag FACEITMinor to get involved in the conversation and the extra content we have going on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Anywhere else you can find us. And also, if you are an ardent CS player, if you like some matchmaking, remember FACEIT have one of the best clients out there to help you with that. And currently, to sign up for FACEIT Premium, you can use the code MINORS20 for 20% off, and that's running for a limited time. We all love a bit of FACEIT, right? A bit of FACEIT matchmaking. All right, before we get into looking at this map specifically and the details, let's set the scene and get the bracket up for everybody at home. Prosto earlier today, I mean just shortly ago, I can't even say earlier today, it was about 20-30 minutes ago. Prosto beat Team Spirit into maps, moving them forwards and pushing Team Spirit down into that elimination bracket. And now we have HR about to go up against Avangar.
Yeah, it should be a fun matchup right there. Finally, we're going to see HellRaisers actually play some CS. As you mentioned, they've only played one map so far to make it to this point. So a bit of a luxury for them. But it could also be a bit of a curse as well. Not necessarily getting the opportunity to play yourself warm and get into that kind of like tournament mode, if you like. And Avangar on there, and they've had plenty of chances to really get warmed up and work out all the small bumps in their play and whatnot. And they've had a few, so I think that's probably to their benefit as well. So it should be a fun best of 3 series.
Exactly, and it's these details we will be getting into shortly, because firstly we should hear a little about these two teams playing, HellRaisers and Avangar.
Making up our second best of 3 are HellRaisers and Avangar. HellRaisers secured their spot in the second semi-final with a convincing win against Plink. Renowned Orpa Woxic put the side to rest, and will be one to watch coming into this matchup. Avangar had a slightly longer route to the semi-finals, but managed to take revenge on fours to secure their spots, thanks to some dazzling performances from Crizzen and Buster. But will it be enough to take down HellRaisers?
Will Avangar be enough to take down HellRaisers? Matthew, I shall put that question towards you.
It's really tough to say. I haven't seen from Avangar so far in this tournament enough for me to beat HellRaisers in a best of 3. I think the lineup is just too complete in terms of AWPer, Rifler, an incredibly good in-game leader. I mean, Angel, probably one of the most impactful in-game leader at the moment on the scene. A deep map pool, experience at the top level. It could happen, yes. We've talked about these circumstances. HellRaisers haven't played that much, so maybe they are not yet in the running mood and running form. But I feel like that would need a lot of circumstances for Avangar to pull it.
I mean, currently, when we refer to HellRaisers, we often talk about the players that are firing off on all cylinders most often. Usually Woxic and Issa, we've seen them on screen just now. But you mentioned a name, Angel, who is an integral member of this team, the longest standing member and their leader. Vendetta, tell me how he factors into this equation with the amount of experience he's had, the different tournaments that he's taken part in. Being at this minor for him, whilst of course still a great opportunity, is probably going to phase him a lot less than potentially every other single person at this tournament.
That's very true. Angel's been around since pretty much the inception of CS going on, and obviously before that as well in previous iterations of Counter-Strike, and he's very well used to this kind of pressure. He's been in taxing situations before. He knows what it takes to succeed, and he knows what you need to avoid in order to really fumble things when you're the expected favorite for the tournament as well. So I think all of that just culminates into a very positive place to be in for HellRaisers. Also add into the fact that he's not your atypical in-game leader in that sense. He's very individualistic in that sense. Oftentimes you'll see team in-game leaders play more within the team, within a system, more so often than not. Angel's the kind of guy who can run off on his own, do his Angel things, his Angel pushes, and try to make more of an impact from a fragging point of view. More so than others, and I think that could be a blessing and a curse at times. He has his own, I guess, special way of thinking about Counter-Strike, and sometimes it works out really well, sometimes it looks kind of silly. But I think depending on what kind of opposition you go up against, is more likely to succeed when you go up against lower tier than, let's say, the very, very best in the CS world. So coming into a tournament like this, Angels should be, poised to have a massive impact from a fragging point of view.
On the other side of the coin, we have Avangar. And Matthew, these guys, as of recent, have been finding some better performances and got slightly on that old Counter-Strike grind and rise. They beat their Kazakhstan rivals Gambit at Star Ladder. And overall, it's a very driven team full of talented players. But the way they've started off this tournament has been slightly shaky. Their first best of one didn't go in their favour at all. Second matchup, which was a best of 3, was better. But then the third one, it was scrappy. It was 2-1.
Absolutely, that was still, I would say, a shaky performance from Avangar, and you're right to point it out. I think Avangar over the span of the last month have kind of popped off on the map, like the CS:GO map. They've had good results. People were talking about them at the Boston Major, where they almost made it to the group stage, and they started to make a name for themselves as not really a top tier team, but a team that you kind of have to take seriously. You have to respect, because they would be able to take you down if you just underestimate them. And I think this minor for them is or was a very good occasion to establish that situation. But I haven't seen that from them at the moment. I think even their best of 3 against Forza was a rough game. That wasn't easy by any account.
We even said that about the 2-0 though against Monolith 2, that was still not completely comfortable, but definitely that final best of 3 that they played yesterday against the team that they originally lost to in the best of 1. Forza, that 2-1 was all over the place, Halvor.
Yeah, it really was, and it's weird because if you just look at the final result, it looks pretty comfortable, right? You get a 16-7 victory, you get a 16-12 to close it out on train. Normally you'd go, well, yeah, that's pretty comfortable. But it's just the fashion they went about it, the fact that they had just these collapses midway through the maps, the fact that, especially on Inferno where they lost their force, there was just like some massive holes in their defenses and just not really a whole lot going for them on the T side either, just making you wonder whether or not, obviously they come into the tournament prepared, but like how deep it runs, like how deep of a playbook do they have when they actually face some opposition here? And they're obviously going to go up against teams that are going to pose a bigger threat to them than Force are. I mean, hence why Force didn't make it to the final bracket. And that really does worry me. And it's also kind of surprising because, as you mentioned, they did beat their fellow Kazakhstani rivals in Gambit. They've done it multiple times as well. They had a good showing at Adrenaline Cybercover right before Star Ladder as well, so it's not like they've been completely off the grid or just had like 1 or 2 maps where they showcase that they can't play CS. It's just been a really weird really weird road for us to watch Avangar play on this minor so far.
At the same time though, at least in one of the interviews they did with Freya, Dastan, the coach, and Kicker did tell us that they noticed or they've accepted that this run has not been great.
Ideal, yeah.
And that they are trying to improve. Matthew, as we take a look at the veto, feel free to lead into it, but maybe you can talk a bit upon that as well, about what Avangar should be looking to do differently in this match and what they need to do to beat arguably the best team out of the 7 that we've had here at the CIS Minor.
So just quickly touching to the vetoes, I think it's very interesting. We had this conversation before the game started, both teams actually not playing Nuke. So it was kind of the question that who had to remove it, and we saw that HellRaisers just went for the Mirage ban. Yep. They forced Avangar into vetoing Nuke, which is a good, I think a good situation for them. Then they go for what I really appreciate, kind of a risky Dust 2 pick, but the truth is the numbers,
risky, isn't it,
the
Matthew?
statistics for Avangar are not that great on Dust 2, and HellRaisers statistics are good, also considering HellRaisers are playing against higher tier opponent on a regular, so their statistics are more valuable or some sort, you should say. So I really like this Dust 2 aggressive pick. Avangar going for Cache, which is a good map for them.
Yeah, but I think it was between one of 2 maps really in this scenario, and that was Cache or Train. That's kind of where they don't really have too many feet to, or they don't have that big of a foot to stand on when it comes to the veto process versus HellRaisers.
No, they don't. And also, HellRaisers is no small feat on cash. I've played against them many times. That's the typical Angel running out of A main, taking double kills all the time. They are really good on this map. So
yeah, actually,
and the typical Inferno third.
Yeah, when you ask me to kind of like go in detail about what Angel can bring, one of the things he also does in cash, in addition to this A main push that he does so often, is that he'll happily just walk through his smoke in mid garage, like at any given point as a CT. Just doesn't have to like have any prompt to it whatsoever. Like they don't have to be down a man, they don't have to be up a player or something like that. He just gets it into his own head like this is the timing, and more often than not, it actually has a pretty significant impact. Even if he trades for 1-for-1, he just creates so much chaos to the point where the T side are just left struggling to figure out what's going on. So I'm liking this veto for HellRaisers.
Me too. Just to come back very quickly on what
just
you asked me.
Before we get to the crunch time, exactly.
You asked me very quickly what can Avangar or what should Avangar do if they want to have a chance, and in my opinion, they have to be way more aggressive as CT. I think we have criticized them for being way too passive, playing in the dark, having no real idea what the Ts are doing, and that's just not going to make it against HellRaisers. You can't just accept that the Ts are going to do whatever they want, and you think, it's okay, our setup is good. Our setup is probably good. Yeah. No, they're going to have to be aggressive. They're going to have to go for information, go for picks. They said in an interview they like to play aggressive. Well, now is the time to.
Well, guys, as you know, when I present the melon, it's about time we throw things over to our friends. And that means, firstly, you must predict who shall win.
I'm going to go with the safe and easy pick. HellRaisers, they're going to take this, and I'm thinking it's going to be a 2-0. They did a really good job throughout their vetoes, and I don't see too many chances for Avangar to take this away from them.
Man, I wish I had a very good storyline explaining why Avangar is going to make it, but I just think
Cinderella
it's
story.
Be, I just think it's going to be a 2-0 HellRaisers, and it should be.
Yeah.
Maybe I keep it.
I must say that, Halvor, you broke the ceremony rules of speaking when you don't have the melon, so unfortunately we won't see you on the desk. No, I'm kidding. Anyway,
voted off the island.
I will also go with HellRaisers. I think they've won this, at least in some part, like my friends have said, about gaming the veto here, winning it in the veto, and on paper that overall they just should be winning this out. Now, James and Dan are ready. Guys, who is your money on?
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
I pointed at you before, which means that you're supposed to start talking first.
Oh, right, okay. What? We're playing chicken, are we? Gonna do...
I literally just... Dust 2 is the first map between these two sides. Who do I fancy? Got to pick HellRaisers, man. But they're coming into this cold, so we'll have to see if that is an advantage for Avangar. I think Avangar needs an advantage in this best-of-3 series. Nice open maps to start off with, and it should be very interesting indeed. My glasses need to be cleaned. I'm going to clean them. Are you ready to talk yet?
That'd be a cool start to a spoken word piece by James Bardell.
Talk some more, Dan. Come on, you can
no
do it. You're capable of this.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
I believe in you.
Okay. Right, it's been a while since I've actually seen HellRaisers. And Angel, the fearless leader, so much experience. Already going to lose Woxic. Woxic's obviously a beast. He's a beast. I do fear for Avangar, as they did on the desk. It's hard to see Avangar taking down the likes of HellRaisers, Bondic, Angel, Woxic, Dead Fox. You know, all these characters have much experience at this point. They are storied. Bards have written stories about them and their trials and tribulations. It's a good start here for HellRaisers. Angel, always a menace with the pistol. And they will hold pretty strong so far with the USPs, and Avangar have yet to really, they haven't been using the numbers here. They've been actually just going for the aim battles, and so far it's not going their way. So they've got to try to find some avenue of attack to get that bomb down. That's a very big priority. Just secure the money at the very least, but there is an issue there because there's 2 on the B-bomb side. And so actually, Angel will rotate to 8. So it's a 2-2 split for HellRaisers. They're just playing it safe. Let's see if it works out for them. Ooh, there's a chance. Oh, a big chance now.
They gave Kika the P2000 that James was carrying if I'm not mistaken, to get that kill, which he does. There goes the bomb, and all of a sudden, advantage of Avangar. Both CTs from outside the site. Bust has been spotted, and now he becomes the bait. Repicking every so often, though, as the CTs may expect him not to repick again since they have a man advantage. The other two positions not real just yet. Revealed, rather. Tongue twisters are here. Kika with the pistol from that strong position. Now 1 versus 1. Bondik will save the day for HellRaisers. That is the start they were looking for. Bondik being around the block a little bit.
Bondik to me was always a really good player, and it seemed like he was gonna get there, but then the lineups that he was on, you know, sort of just didn't end up working out, because he was on Flipside for the longest time, and even before that he was on, oh god, what was it? The remind me, what was this team before Flipside? Oh god, this is really annoying. It was a long time ago. Either way, before Flipside, it was a team with much promise. A lot of the players were very good. Bondik was one of them, and they dispersed amongst other lineups, and I felt like Bondik, he never really got a solid shot at the big time. And I'm hoping that this team could be a return to that. I think, you know, on the desk they really highlighted the potential of a team like this under the helm of Angel. Bondik was one of the reasons I liked him was because he was always a reliable bomb site anchor, and that can be difficult to find, and
reliable pair of hands, a safe pair of hands.
Yeah, having that guy that can reliably multi-kill, that's really nice with a rifle. And a player who's confident to play intelligently, but also reliably.
Wishful thinking with the slow smoke grenade towards the long doors. In fact, 4 of the 5 players will be here for Avangar. HellRaisers on a fact-finding mission. Angel's made his way towards top mid already. Good that he's being patient around his position, because often you'll see T's looking for a push. Maybe not in around such as this, but here we go. FACEIT taken out early. This is a continuation of the SMG buy for the most part from HellRaisers. Bondik with some nice burst there. Ducking, trying to get away to reload perhaps. In the red now. Can double peek with his teammate. I think he could have waited for his teammate to get slightly wider for the double peek there. Instead he goes down alone, but it is James 1 versus 3. Now, James is a person who I've been looking for a good performance, and haven't really had one yet. There's a time to have one. It is now. Nice one tap onto Angel, but it is a 3-0 for HellRaisers.
I did wonder if, as you say, you know, Bondik would have just waited because his health was low, but perhaps he was hungry for that 4K. He'd already taken down 3. He wanted to end the round. And very nice work. As you can see, especially after I just bigged him up for multi-kills. Glad that's for once, you know, you say something and it happens. FACEIT picks off Prison. James. Okay, he's got a gun now. It was like nothing on the HUD there for a second. It was quite amusing. He's got his fists out. But it is they who are receiving the fisting currently. We've got a strong start for HellRaisers with the initial pick going to FACEIT, and obviously with the advantage of weaponry, it's not too much to do here for Avangar, other than just all they can really try to attempt is be sneaky with the Deagles, try to find that one shot that you can maybe try to get that headshot long range, get some damage in. But it's not going so well. They decide to stand and fight in middle, and they will receive a lot of fire from Izzat.
FACEIT is going to be a problem with this AWP. James will be his main opponent on Dust 2, and maybe this will be a good map for James. Maybe this will be the map we were looking for, but again, he has strong opposition in FACEIT. So, can James finally deliver the performance that James is looking for? HellRaisers with 2 players on point of long. Demo will not be overcommitting in that direction. Prison, he's been one to watch on the Avangar side, and he has pretty much won the round at this point, I think, for Avangar. How has he got there so early? FACEIT holding the short position, but they took mid for granted, HellRaisers, and they were punished for doing so.
Yeah, that's a nice gamble, just, you know, running down mids for a very fast timing. Obviously, the risk is that if HellRaisers play a 2-1-2, at the start of the round, or if they play even a 2-3, that, you know, obviously there's a timing in the round early where both players on the B site will be looking at the tunnels because there's a rush timing, and so they want to be safe against that rush timing. And then obviously after that window has gone, or you put down your smokes and a rush is no longer a big threat, then that second player on the B site looks out the double doors or out the window. You know, he starts to perhaps try to get some info on mid to be safer against what would be an average timing, a normal timing for a T to be around the double doors. But because the timing was so accelerated by Crizin, he's able to quickly run through a blind spot and win the round. So it is a big gamble. It's a big gamble by Crizin to do that, but it works out. And you know, Counter-Strike is about taking the right risks, and sometimes, you know, they're calculated and sometimes they're not. And it puts Avangar in a great position to start contesting with the weaponry that they now have earned. And that's not a good start for Buster, though. They try to get him through onto Long with the grenades, and the initial defense of HellRaisers will work well for them. Woxic now up with the AWP. No grenades to initially prevent him from taking the first frag. He can continue here. There's a Molotov. That's good. The smoke also cutting him short, but there is somewhat of a gap, but the bomb will still be available for the plants. But can Kikurt get to safety?
I'm surprised he didn't stand on the car. I feel like he would have had enough cover from the smoke grenade there. And he would have had different elevations as well, but it is what it is. And that is awkward for Woxic. Does he go for the repeat? He's being waited for. And there's James to finish him off. This could have been an expensive round for HellRaisers. 3 unanswered frags from Avangar, 4. And Bondik will be the 5th. A wipeout for Avangar. Very strong round from them there.
Yeah, it was a really nice round. And all things considered, that they ran, I forget which player it was. I thought it was Buster, I think. They ran Buster straight into a long alone at the beginning of the rounds. And again, you know, Avangar have found 2 successful rounds out of very fast rush timings. That's what they've been doing right now, and that's where the success has come. So again, it has its risks, but they've won 2 rounds in a row. They've put HellRaisers on a breaking point, but that's a good start. Once again, HellRaisers will hold on too long, and you can see that they don't send 3 there at the start of the round. And again, fast timing. He's just pushing through tunnels. They're pushing everything at once.
Bomb spotted in the B bomb site. Long rotation from some of these players. Bomb isn't down just yet. The Molotov may delay, and that's not going to be helpful for Avangar. What does James do now? He's alone versus 4. The bomb is not really recoverable. And Bondik will take him up from the back. That is exactly the round HellRaisers needed in response. Woxic can now buy Kevlar with his AWP. He had Kevlar anyway, it was the helmets he bought, excuse me. Alrighty then, 5-2. James been off to a good start so far. Bondik going for the spray transfer on Long, and that is a very expensive start to this round for HellRaisers. Woxic is getting into position on the A site. Do they push short now, HellRaisers, to try and answer these issues that they have on A?
It's cool how fast the pace is, you know, compared with the previous matchup. It's like night and day, the difference. To go recover that bomb. Issa, oh, that's an important frag that unlocks middle completely. Bomb down still for Avangar. They need to get that bomb before they can really do much else. You don't want to take a bomb site and not have the bomb. It's not a good way to go about things, usually. And now we'll see HellRaisers with good position to deal with pressure on A. Fast response here from pretty much every player. Woxic on the AWP. Oh, baited out. Well done. Demasik behind the car. 2 HP for him. Not anymore. He has been punctured. And now James will eviscerate Woxic in return. But frag for frag it goes, and the CTs will eventually pull ahead in the tug of war. And that is a much needed round for them. If they had lost that one, it would have been Eco Town.
wonder what Avangar will choose to do with 2 players surviving for the CTs. Will they see this as a gamble opportunity? They could fall by in the next round. So it is a risk at running their economy. They are 2 for 6 at the moment, but it seems they will consider the 2 for 7 scoreline. Although 5 CZs. Do they make a play through mid doors, perhaps? Well, speaking of the devil, HellRaisers will be the ones to do that, taking the game to Avangar. But these 5 ZZs may be a nasty surprise. The HE grenade is curious. Obviously, it goes in front of the teammate, but is that to give Avangar a false sense of security? HellRaisers smartly start to back off. 20 seconds of hyper-aggression. Now they'll move into a more traditional setup. Angel will keep eyes on the middle position. Make sure those doors remain honest. But Avangar are still waiting for more aggression. Kikers and Jamin T-spawn. They don't know what's going on.
Biding their time. They've only got 2 flashes in the smoke, so it will be rather difficult to get into any site. The B-bomb site is well defended. Middle fortified, short as well, occupied by Angels. That's right now. HellRaisers have brilliant positioning because the only thing that you can be bursted on without getting warning is B, and they have the strongest defense there. Everything else, they get early warning systems in Angel, in also Bondic on the A site with the long ranges. So HellRaisers have a perfect setup, or as close to a perfect setup as you can have given the situation. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Avangar can somehow do something against it.
Woxic rotating into the B area as well. Angel will move back, spotting James rotating from low tunnel, but now they are committing to the B bomb site, and there are still 3 players here trying to emerge from the smoke. They know James is in the middle position. 10 seconds left, don't need to hunt too hard, but Bondic is looking for him, and there will be a kill out of this. It's a pre-fire from Angel. James was close to the head, but didn't quite hit the mark. 7-2, the expected scoreline. Avangar waiting patiently for their buy. No plant for them. That extra money would have been nice, but nothing doing on this occasion. Tactical timeout from Avangar. See how much they can invest into this round. Kiket's dropping an AWP for James. James will drop an AK-47 in kind. 7-2. Issa 11 for 3. Buster 1 for 8. He's not having a great time of things at the moment.
Yeah, HellRaisers are just doing the basics pretty well. Once again, it goes a long way, and I think HellRaisers have pretty consistently across the board as well. Very good individuals, so that's a lot to contend with. And Avangar, I mean, they've got good utility. They've got a good buy this round. But we need to see a good round from them. The rounds in which they've won and some of the rounds in which they've had the most success, they've done so through gambling heavily at the start of rounds. And again, it's not a consistent approach, and we can see that that is now it's been a struggle since they have had to slow things down and play more normally and play the defaults. It's been a struggle for them to find opportunity against HellRaisers. HellRaisers have a cool setup this round insofar as, they don't have anyone on the A side. Specifically, they're playing a little bit closer to short. But otherwise, it does look somewhat standard. I think one is in CT. I think Angel... Oh, Angel's actually on short. Okay, it's Woxic who is on the angle. The one and done can drop down into CT if need be.
This is a very slow round for us too.
Yeah. Izza must be looking towards middle because no one else really has an angle on middle. Yes, he is. Okay, that's good.
HellRaisers still have 5 Molotovs. Just something to consider.
That is actually a very good point, yeah. 30 seconds and the fire starts to get thrown. More fire thrown. To have to use a smoke here if you weren't planning to is a bit annoying, but here comes the burst from Demonstick. 15 seconds. Oh, look, there's a guy in the window. It's a... Oh my god, he's doing fantastic work. And there's more frags where that came from. It's looking to take down everyone. He might get an angle for the ace. Hello. Ace from Issa, 16 frags, 3 deaths. He is doing a fantastic job with that AK.
5v5 push with 20 seconds on the clock. They had some angles. Woxic was, again, he's at the car position looking towards short, so he didn't see the players moving through mid, but HellRaisers were ready. And if one frag went the wrong way there, then maybe Avangar at least are able to try and push that B bomb site with some more success, but they waited things out. HellRaisers didn't get curious. And yeah, Avangar are having a lot of issues here. Prison and Dima somehow got a 2 versus 3 out of this. Okay, Dima alone now. He picks up an AK, and now he's dead. 9-2. HellRaisers coasting at the moment. They've got the champagne out on the boat, and the waters are very calm indeed.
Yeah, they individually, they seem better at the moment, and I think on paper as well, of course. But, oh, yeah, that's nasty, isn't it? But also at the same time, you know, they're playing the CT side, they've got a good economy. It's up to Avangar to best them strategically and tactically. I mean, if you can't step up to a team individually, that's, you know, where you're going to get your edges on the T side, and that's a really nice response from Woxic. He was a little bit out of position, not really close to the corner there for proper cover for that position, but he adjusts quickly and well. And Kika now challenging, and again, you can see Avangar just trying to walk out and win the 1v1s without any utility here, and it is with risk, but they are successful. And now they'll switch things up here, looking to push into B. They've got a player who is deep in the double doors in middle, who can cut off rotation. And Dead Fox, okay, this is smart from Dead Fox. Abandon the site, you probably can't hold it. Okay, never mind. Thought he's going to go and retake middle so that he can be with his teammates, but never mind. That is actually a common choice sometimes. If you think, you know, you're about to get pushed, let's say 3 players come in towards the front of the doors on B, you can go and take the tunnels and hold a retake position for your teammates, as opposed to trying to hold the sites against too many players.
Bondic importantly took out the lurker at double doors, but they still won't go for it, HellRaisers, which I think is a good idea. They could do with saving these weapons at this point. Despite the score, some rounds are expensive. Running costs, let's say. Wear and tear. Vanguard get a 3rd round on the board. It's been a while since they've won a round. Managed to kill Issa in that round. 17 for 5 at the moment is Issa. He's a chap who can get very animated when he doesn't win a round where he's at distinct disadvantage, which is very interesting. But you can see how bad he wants it, which is good. That
is awesome. It's really cool to have a mix of the young and the old, the super hungry and the more mellow and experienced. That's I think can be a really fun dynamic on a team. And obviously Angel is like the dad of the team in the sense that he's been around for absolutely ever, and he's a great player. Lots of experience. Woxic, another man from FPL fame, really.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he's
infamy.
Exactly, that's a good word for it.
The Hall of Pain, FPL.
Hall of Pain.
That is a secured long area for Bondic going past the door. And he will get some sound cues there. He can have an idea of how many players are there for the time being. Not only so much he can do with it, but you can see Bondic, he heard the grenade being deployed. That's how close he is. He is, however, on his own. He could get 2 kills out of this. This is not an easy spot. Almost. Now, I'm sure Kika eventually would have done a 180 to check him, so it is hard for Bondic to let the play go in that situation to try and get an extra frag for free. Angel starting to flank, but we'll hear Buster, who is starting to rotate. Ooh. No, he's stuck in the corner now, and there are advantages to be had here for Avangar. 1 minute on the clock. Woxic does wait, however, on the A site. Avangar playing it slow. And we saw this in the complexity game yesterday, when you see things slow down after the T's would take the long position, and it seems they will rotate. But Dead Fox, This is a really strong angle with the AWP. He should get at least 2 shots off in this scenario. Oh, Buster, what a great shoulder pick from him. But there are problems for Avangar to deal with now. Which way will the bomb go?
Woxic with a good defense there. That's the A site. Absolutely safe. Oh, Dead Fox in position. Oh my god, how did that miss? Oh wow, there are so many players he could have connected with. He's unfortunate. Woxic. Oh, he gets one. I'm not sure if he had any vision or if that was just a shot through the smoke. A chance shot. Jumping around and looked quite amusing. And it's going to be another round for Avangar. 2 in a row. Or 1 in a row.
He got lost in the smoke.
2 in a row.
The positioning of HellRaisers on the B bomb site didn't quite wasn't ideal for them. If he was at back boxes there, then he has many shots at the wall. So I don't know if he was in 2 minds as to whether he'll potentially need to rotate towards A or something, but caught out in the complete open. Now we see Avangar charging into the A site. Is there a flashbang for Angel to re-peek? You can see Bondic is in position. He's got no flashes though, just a Molotov and a smoke grenade, so he can't really support his teammate but beyond holding an angle. But he will try to create some space for himself by getting a smoke down first, and Angel is still alive with this CZ. Bondic tries to offer something. Can Angel follow up? No, not on this occasion. He's got some info for his team. Isa and Dead Fox starting to rotate. Woxic still on the A site. Can Avangar avoid Woxic for another round?
That was quite scary. Angel, to me, is a player that I associate with excellent CZ work, so he had opportunity, ample opportunity to cripple this push, but it is still up for grabs. Oh, pulling out the grenade, they line up. James just standing there helplessly as Demasic goes down behind him, and that is really rough. Keycut can't do anything. And HellRaisers take the round. That's an unfortunate end to what could have been a good opportunity. You can see here just the lineup, and James unable to get anything there. You called James' name for...
What?
You called James' name earlier for, I don't know, for a performance, and we're indeed seeing some struggles. Yeah, a really big pause there whilst I was looking for words. It's like I can't find words.
Because it's James and not James, I was very confused.
Yeah. James.
Last round of the first half. James has a scout. Woxic still holding on to his AWP. What are you laughing at?
No, it's just that Kiko just got completely flashed by his teammate as he's trying to escape. It's quite amusing.
Woxic has 2 flashes, and you'll often see a sniper on the A side, on the CT side. Will often have to flash for his teammates, be them playing short or long. That flash allows Bondic to peek, but as a second flash, I think Bondic got hit by his own flash.
Yeah, he did.
Now 3 players investing in this long position. Crisano avoids the trade frag situation, but there's a new one. Woxic moving towards the blue area, and in the meantime, short has been taken. Keycut flanking the rotation. And there are problems here for HellRaisers, although they have a man advantage.
Still looks so sharp. Demasic's waiting for him, but Issa, of course, finds a headshot. This guy is absolutely savage. Oh my god, he rips off their heads with that AK. He makes it look so easy. This guy's on another level at the moment. Issa, what an exciting prospect. Just so clean, just clean. Goodbye, goodbye.
Nice.
It's absolutely clinical. 11-4, HellRaisers in the lead. A significant lead, which could be made much more significant in the advent of a victory here. 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and what do we have in store for the HellRaisers? Ooh, Dead Fox taking that. Wow, P250, let's go!
That is quite the range.
You've got to be a fan. I know you're a fan, James.
You know, I'm the #1 fan.
#1.
I was here before it was cool, damn it. Hello, Buster. I wonder if that was a clean headshot on Crizzen, because there is a limit to the one-shot range of the P250. It is fairly long, but that was a fairly long duel.
Yeah.
Dust 2 with some of the longest duels in the game.
It was T-spawn to double doors, I think.
Yeah. Probably was a clean shot.
Yep. Good
for 93 damage. But still alive, can still... Never mind, he's dead. 5 versus 3 now. HellRaisers looking for a mid to B play. Woxic taking out the push from B tunnels, and oh boy. Buster got busted, as did the rest of the team. All in a jail cell now.
P250 boys. I'm a massive P250 fan as well. I always buy it on two sides pistols, just because not only does it feel more reliable, and it just feels like amazing for the cost. You get the nades out with it, and you can have an opportunity to drop one to a teammate who's got Kevlar, who already has bought Kevlar. So it just gives you a lot of options. It's nice. It feels really good to start with that. Having utility on the pistol round is really fun too. 3 MAC-10s, a Galil, and an AK here for HellRaisers anti-Force Spy, and Bonnet gets a bit of damage in. Galil has really awesome armor penetration stats, so it's actually quite good on these rounds due to that fact, because you are going to be up against Kevlar.
Double nades around the double doors. Angel, the scout man. And he sees nothing. He has scouted the area, and he has called the rotation to B, but Woxic's still holding down for a mid push from a short position, and he has the bomb, so time to get his skates on. HellRaisers securing most of Dust 2 here. Angel moving up top mid now. He may miss Dima. Positioning, double peek these CTs, and this could get interesting. Bomb only going down now, but with Dima on 17 HP, maybe they will save these weapons and look to live to fight another day, but Issa is slowly creeping.
He's hungry. He is hungry.
Sliding in.
This is a frag, surely. Dima's so weak. Oh, nice! Finds the headshot on the jump. Good defense from Dima. And HellRaisers don't need to get rid of a Galil. A Galil on Kevlar is not a big problem. He can drop the CZ too, but it's not a big problem in the next rounds. None of Dima's teammates can afford to buy anything, so... Oh, he's very dead though, surely. There we go. Galil recollected, and that's a nice pickup. 13-4, HellRaisers looking very solid at the moment. I'm really enjoying watching Issa play. I'm really enjoying watching his mechanics. There's nothing like watching a player who's just got really crisp mechanics. That was one of the reasons why I was very sad when Shroud left the professional scene, because, you know, if nothing else, when you're watching his perspective, it's just really cool to see that level of mouse control.
Yeah, that is very cool indeed. But he's back. He's playing at low levels. For fun, for personal amusement, for content. Second smoke grenade. Not everybody needs to cross. Woxic staying near the car in case of a push through the smoke. And Angel padding them stats, baby.
Bye-bye.
One thing for people to consider at home, like when you take the A side, if you're at significant advantages, if you've got the numbers, let's say you're all coming from short, and there isn't a lot going on A itself, you don't all have to run towards A, and then not have, say, long or short. You can have some people stay on short, plant for short, and then you've got more cover, more angles and CT rotations. If you're all coming from long, you can leave somebody long to watch long doors to hold the flank, then you can plant for long, and you've already got long secured. Also, if you've got people on either side of the slope, if there is a push through the smoke, then you will be better prepared for it. So, just something to consider. It is situational, but you can't take advantage of the situation if you don't consider the situation.
You've got to be aware.
Yeah, spatial awareness is very beneficial. Don't walk into walls.
That would be a painful existence. There are walls everywhere, James.
Yeah, who knows where a wall might be.
We are
Keep your eyes open.
Right now, encircled, enrobed by walls. Ooh, that's a close one. That's a very close one. Woxic not finding the mark just yet, though, and there is a total of 0 grenades now, unless you kind of decoy for Avangar, just tossing out their smoke. And just looking to see where that smoke went. Not sure where that smoke went, but it's went somewhere. Very helpful, I know. Ooh, Issa.
Ouch.
To be fair, that is a pretty easy to understand angle. And Kika is not in a favorable engagement. He'll get eliminated by Issa as well as Grenade. And Issa is really working on that 30 bomb. He's got 25 right now. Bondic will eliminate Krisen. And now it's just a matter of just getting the bomb down. The round is basically won. Dima is sick, unable to do too much. Issa just assassinating him from behind. Bomb goes down. Buster alone.
Execution.
The guillotine is out. The man in the black hooded robe.
Did you have a guillotine in your school?
I want to say yes.
I
I want to say
had
yes,
one,
actually.
but I can't remember what they were for.
I think I did it. I think we
What
did.
were they for? Was it for paper or something?
In one of them. I went to like 7 different schools, James. So I think, I do remember like in one of them.
There was a guillotine, but I don't know what the guillotine was used for. If you had a guillotine in your school, tell us what it was used for, because we can't remember.
Chopping off fingers.
We do not recall. This was the pick of Dust 2. I mean, this was the pick of HellRaisers.
Dust 2 is
Avangar picks Cash.
living entity.
FYI, if you're wondering whose map pick this is, Dima with a last stand, perhaps. Hopefully better than the X-Men film. Prison alone at long. HellRaisers will harass or make loud noises throughout the wedding, firing the AK-47s. Watch out for landing bullets.
Oh. He is looking for more frags. Give him the frags. Give me the frags. Give him all the frags. He needs 4 for the 30. Let's go. Let's go. Bondic, don't ruin it. He's ruining it for everyone.
Oh, those are those mollies you were asking for.
That's the Molotov I've been asking for all week. Yeah, that's correct.
I wonder if they would have been able to throw that without the CT smoke. That was dropped on short position. James is in a very compromised angle. He must not be feeling safe right now. A trio of frags, leaving Buster alone against game point. They'll all drop down and say hello. They will greet him. Lots of hands, lots of hugging. And that is a simple game of Dust 2 for HellRaisers, 16-4.
Yeah, the issue, I think, is absolutely that Avangar got outskilled, and that's a problem that will persist. It's going to be pervasive, map through map. You're going to be against a team that has really good individuals, and you've got to find a way to circumvent that, and it's not easy, but perhaps the next map will be more favorable to their playbook.
After the break, we will be going to the pick of Avangar, which will be Cash. Stay tuned.